Welcome, it's denome, and welcome to the short market update. And today we have, let's say, even bad news because Bitcoin actually fell down below my trend line here, and this is what I would consider to be the bear zone. So I expect prices to fall down further. So in this video, we're gonna try to answer the question: what is gonna be the bottom, and how will the price actually behave? Let me take down this. I made this video a couple of times, but I wasn't happy with the outcome, so I'm remaking this video anyway. We're currently below the trend line here, and when we take a look at the RSI on the 4-hour chart, you can see that we currently have a bullish divergence. So we might actually get a bounce back to maybe up to this resistance line here as well, and then we might go below it once again. So there might be a short-term bullishness here because of the RSI here, and then I think the bear market will actually resume here. So short-term bullishness might occur, and then we fall down further. That's my expectation as of now. And the reason why this trend line is actually significant here is that you can see we're currently on the logarithmic view on the Bitcoin chart. So you can draw these trend lines here, and whenever we fell down below the trend line, you can see that that was the end of the bull run. It happened here as well, it happened here as well. But there's a couple of times when we actually fell down below the trend line here, then we had a nice bounce back into the bull zone, and then the bear market basically resumed. So this similar thing could happen once again, that we go like this, but what I'm pretty much expecting for this time around is something like this as well. So we do get a significant drawdown on the Bitcoin price, but then we get bullishness back, and this might be the actual top of the cycle. So I'm looking at the top of the cycle to be maybe in 2025 now, since we are below the trend line. If we were above the trend line, then I would expect the top to be about 2024, but because that's not the case, I think we're gonna head to 2025 to see the top. But now, since we are below the trend line, I have to expect a drawdown, a significant drawdown. So that's what I'm expecting here. So what is the price levels to actually get back into Bitcoin? Well, the obvious first price level would be about 56k Bitcoin, because that's the previous bottom. But if we go all the way there, I don't think that's gonna last. So I think a better, or let's say a better price level is, let's say, 52k. And the reason I call it the better place is that I think 49k is going to be the absolute bottom, but I think people are going to start pre-buying it at 52k. So we might get a bounce from 52k. So if you start buying Bitcoin at 52, I think that's going to be a beautiful level. And the absolute bottom, if we see full out bearishness, I think it's going to be about 39k Bitcoin, right about here. And the reason why this zone is the best buying area, in my opinion, is because this is when the ETFs were launched. So there's going to be a narrative saying that there's a lot of institutional interest in this area because of the ETFs that were launched at this time. So institutions will probably start buying Bitcoin at this level because they will get it at the level that others already bought. So I think there's going to be a lot of investors coming into the market, and because that is the narrative drives behavior, and then if the behavior is bullish, that's when we get the bullish moves back to the upside. So that's my thesis for now. Obviously, I could be completely wrong here. So the other case is if we just go back to the bull zone, if we go above this resistance line, that's when I will be actually buying back into Bitcoin. But for altcoins, I will not be buying back altcoins until we actually hit a new all-time high. And the reason is obviously because we are currently teasing with the bear market here. If we don't get a new all-time high, I'm not interested in altcoins, because altcoins typically don't perform well in bear markets and when there's uncertainty. So this is my take, and for copium, I want to give you the copium also in the charts, then I will look at fundamentals a little bit for you guys as well. But if we get out of the logarithmic view, you can draw another trend line here, starting from this bottom, and you touch this bottom here, you can see that we actually are still above this trend line. So this is the copium for you guys in the short term. This trend line might actually work out for you guys. But since that's not how I look at Bitcoin, so I use the logarithmic view, this is why I actually had to sell some of my Bitcoin as well as my altcoins, just to preserve capital pretty much. But in the short term, I'm expecting a little bit of a bullishness because of the 4-hour bullish divergence here. And I think people are still in denial, so there might be some nice pullbacks here, and then we go further down. So that's my take, just looking at charts here. And now let's take a look at what other people are doing. So let's take a look at on-chain data. So first, let's take a look at ETFs. And the first thing that we are looking at here is obviously another red bar, which means that there has been a net outflow from the Bitcoin ETFs of $226 million. And you can see from this chart that the ETF buyers are pretty much price-driven buyers. So what I mean by that is when we take a look at the most amount of ETF buying happened when Bitcoin price was at its peak already. And then we saw quite a bit of selling. We saw some buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. Basically, you see them selling when the price is going down, and you see them buying when the price is going up once again. So that's what the ETFs have been doing. So they are pretty price driven. Not all of them, but it seems like a lot of the buying is very price driven. Price is up, ETFs are buying. Price is down, ETFs are selling. Or maybe they are moving the markets with their buying and selling. I don't exactly know. But all I can tell you is that when price is up, then we see a lot of buying. When price is down, we are seeing selling. So right now they are in the sell mode. So we cannot really make any fundamental judgments from this if they will be buying tomorrow or if they're selling tomorrow. That's what I'm kind of getting at. But when we take a look at other players on-chain data, we're currently looking at different wallet sizes. We're looking at wallet sizes which have 10 to 100 Bitcoin, 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin, 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin, or 10,000 Bitcoin to 100,000 Bitcoin wallets. So these are the amount of wallets in those brackets. So first off, let's take a look at the yellow line here. You can see in the last 2 days, we have seen some buying here. So we have seen some increasing amounts of wallets in these brackets. The blue line has actually seen quite a lot of buying as well. So we are seeing these wallets increase in sizes. And then the pink line, which is 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin wallets, these have actually still been selling. But the big whales, 10,000 to 100 Bitcoin wallet, those have actually increased. So they went from 100 wallets to now 103 wallets. So we are seeing a little bit of a whale comeback already, which is very nice, obviously. But some of the whales are still selling, but we can still see that retail investors are still buying. So this is the total amount of wallets that have some amounts of Bitcoin inside them. So we're currently looking at 54.66 million wallets that have at least some amounts of Bitcoin inside them. So we're still seeing retail investors buying, and we're still seeing some wallets, whales actually come back and buy Bitcoin. So this might be the bottom as well, because when we see big whales buying, that might be a bottom signal. So some hopium here as well. And when we take a look at another chart here, this is a new line I haven't had before, if you have been following me. This is the supply of Bitcoin held by miners. And this is an interesting line because Bitcoin miners are the bread and butter of the Bitcoin economy. And these people are securing the Bitcoin network with their mining power. But when we take a look at the reserves that they have, you can see that starting from February of 2024, when the price was about 61K, that's when we started to see a lot of selling from these wallets. So they have been selling Bitcoin in case the price actually falls down, and also so that they have cash to prepare for the capitulation of the miners. Because of the halving, you know that the rewards have fallen in half for miners, and that means that some miners who cannot make money with half the revenue, they will basically have to end their operations. and that has happened with every cycle always. And that causes them to basically sell their reserves so that they can keep the running costs and keep mining Bitcoin, and they don't have to go out of business pretty much. And after the halving, we saw a lot of selling, or the selling actually increasing. And that's what I think will continue here as well. So when we actually zoom out a little bit, you can see that starting here in January of 2022, we started to see the accumulation of the miners. So we had the previous halving right about here in I think it was March, or I think it was about April here. Here we saw the last what was it? The last halving. I forgot it midway, and they weren't actually selling anything. And then the price shoot upwards and the miners weren't selling. Then it shoot even higher and the miners weren't selling. But then we basically seen a lot of accumulation from the miners. And finally, now that Bitcoin went to that 62K level once again, now we have seen a lot of selling. And now the rewards are even less than they were in previous cycle. So it's even more difficult to actually make money with miners. And as you probably know, some of the energy prices have also gone up. So it's quite hard to actually mine Bitcoin, and there's even more competition to the miners. We've seen the hash rate go up. So there's more people mining Bitcoin. So you're making even less money. That's why we're seeing a lot of selling compared to the previous bull run where we didn't really see miners selling. So what I expect these levels to actually go to, I think they might go all the way down here to about 1.7 million Bitcoin reserves. So we might see another 100,000 Bitcoin be sold by the miners before the bull run actually continues, if the prices stay the same. So from miners, I think they are not going to accumulate Bitcoin at these price levels as of now. There's capitulation still going on, so that's my expectation at least. So, and obviously I could be completely wrong here with my take. What could happen is that we just go back to the bull zone, and then the bull run actually just resumes, and we're looking at the top of 2024 still. But as of now, we're below my trend line here, and I have to take the price. I have to respect the price. So that's why I sold pretty much all of my altcoins, and then I sold a little bit of my Bitcoin for now. So Bitcoin I will be buying here, or I will start buying it at about 56K level. That will be my first buy level. 52K will be my next, and then I will be buying if the price actually falls all the way down here as well. Or if the price goes here and then above the all-time high, then I will be back in the bullish mode pretty much. So that's my take for the Bitcoin price. Please let me know in the comments if you have a different view, if you have some other insights that I overlooked or undervalued for my own analysis. And if I'm a complete idiot, please let me know in the comments as well. I'm always happy to read those kind of comments. So anyway, that's it for this video. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.